Man, oh man, what do we have here? Well, we've got a case of unintended consequences. Transgender athletes. Chances are a lot of these women behind me were on board with this thing when it first started out years back and not seeing the unintended consequences. Could be wrong, but a lot of people don't look forward to see where this is going. And now they're finding out. Dawn?
Thank you, Andrew. Welcome, everyone. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Those unforgettable words have inspired countless athletes to dream of winning the highest prizes in sports. But women and girls were not always encouraged to have these dreams. In the 19th century, participating in sports was seen as immodest for females. And though the departure of men for the battlefield in World War II led to the creation of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, when men returned home, women left the playing fields. And as recently as 1967, organizers of the Boston Marathon declared that women were physiologically incapable of running 26 miles. But 5 years later, Congress passed Title IX of the 1972 Educational Amendments, requiring schools that receive federal funds to establish separate women's teams in athletics and to provide comparable funding, facilities, coaches, and competitive opportunities for females.
Equality.
But now, in the name of equality, there is a movement to allow boys and men to compete against girls and women.
Ladies and gentlemen, women and men, females and males. In 1988, Florence Griffith Joyner, the fastest woman of all time, set the women's record for the 100-metre sprint. Now, if Flojo were a male, her achievement of 10.49 seconds would have been fairly unremarkable. So unremarkable, in fact, that in 2017 alone, nearly 750 American male college seniors comfortably beat this time. The male record set by Usain Bolt in 2009 stands at 9.58 seconds. This is explained by the performance gap, well studied, well known, between men and women in sports, which amounts to around 10% in swimming, cycling and rowing, and as large as 20 to 30% in weightlifting. Next slide, please. Now, the reason for this is quite straightforward, as documented here by the Washington Post in this helpful graphic from 2014, Fit but Unequal, which shows two highly trained Olympic caliber athletes, one male and one female, and the biological differences that affect their performance. He has a greater percentage of lean muscle, his heart is bigger, his body fat percentage is lower, and all of this translates into greater strength, speed, and endurance.
Men are naturally better at it than women.
Come on now, I know you can think of something. Just keep thinking. Keep thinking. It'll come to you.
Basketball, maybe? Sometimes.
Equality Act, there is no overlap between the levels of male and female testosterone. So overwhelming is the advantage of testosterone that thousands of men and boys could defeat the women's gold medalists in the 400 meters at the Olympics.
Is Tina here?
Professor Coleman wrote in the New York Times, "It doesn't matter that there are 100 females and 3 males in a girls' race. If the 3 males win spots in the final or on the podium because they are males."
That's a huge bitch!
Equality.
It isn't discrimination to tell a male athlete that he must compete against other males, but telling all female athletes that they must now compete against males doesn't merely set them back. It will be, as Professor Coleman announced, the end of women's sports.
Equality.